what y'all know about Pepsi Zero. Or for my UK friends, Pepsi Max. Hello kings, queens, and royalty in between, and welcome to my pocket of the internet. Today we are going to be doing oddly specific book recs. But I posted a little poll or thing on Instagram and asked you guys to send in some oddly specific book recs, and thank you to those who responded. It was really fun reading what you guys wanted. A lot of these are so specific. It was a little hard, but that's okay. If you want to participate in future videos, my Instagram is at olliereads34. You should go head over there. I'd love to have you over there, and I'd love to have you participate in future videos. Let's get on with the video. So the first one is actually from my friend Salma. Salma, if you're watching this was really funny to me that you sent this, just so you know. But it's angst and emotional damage that have you questioning whether or not you love or hate the book. And I have two. I have two for every category. So you're getting a lot of recs today. So for this category, I'm gonna go with a cult classic as well as one that makes perfect sense. So a cult classic will be All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This book, when I first read it and I borrowed the book from the library in 7th grade, I finished the book and threw it. I was so angry, I was so hurt, but I keep thinking about this book all the time. I think about Theo, I think about Violet, I think about their relationship. I love this book so much. But when I first read it, I was angry! I was angry! The next one will surprise literally nobody, and it hurts that I'm even saying it, but that's none of your business. And that is Magnolia Parks by Miss Jessa Hastings. If you know me, this should not surprise you. This book hurts. The angst in this is unmatched, and they're my age. These people are like 22. What makes this book so perfect for this prompt is that the reviews of this book are so polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. I personally hated it and then loved it. I first read this book and I DNF'd it at 7%. Let that sink in. And then I reread it. And then I loved it. Ow! So the next one is from my friend Shania. And it says, when the FMC/MMC does something for the other, it says absolutely nothing about it. Now, both of these are men. But that is because I am a person who loves a down bad man. But they're both by Abby Jimenez. And they're also a part of the same interconnected standalone series, because Abby Jimenez knows everything, if not how to write a down bad man. Miss Abby Jimenez, if you see this, I love you, and I cannot wait for your new book. I need it. I wish I had an arc of it, but that is neither here nor there. The first one will surprise nobody if you know me. But It Is Just for the Summer by Miss Abby Jimenez. This is one of my favorite books of all time, as it should be, and I cannot tell you why this fits unless you've read it, because I can't. It's a spoiler. It's a spoiler to the development of their relationship, and I wish it wasn't, so I could tell the whole world, even those who haven't read it, about it, but I can't. So I shan't. But I need everyone to read it. You're welcome. The next one I don't have a physical copy of, even though I did love it. But it's different. I just haven't felt the need to get a physical copy. But that is Yours Truly by Miss Abby Jimenez. Jacob, the man you are. He does such little things for the female main character and expects nothing in return. He says, I'm not even gonna say that I did it. That's none of my business. However, And I love him. Now, the book was not, it was 4 stars, but here's why. It was written so on brand to my personal anxiety that I had a panic attack with the book.
And I don't think that that was supposed to happen, and that may be just a me thing.
However, I rated it 4 stars because it gave me a panic attack. But I did love it. I did love this book. I need you to understand me when I say I loved Yours Truly by Miss Abby Jimenez. However, it was not a 5-star because of how on par it was to my personal brand of anxiety, to where I couldn't function when I read it most of the time. So, the next couple that are thrown in here are from Miss Louise. Hi Louise, I love you. But it says the opposite of she let go of a breast she didn't even know was holding, which this one was a little bit up for interpretation because I know what that feels like. I don't know how to describe that in words. So I'm going to interpret it as holding your breath the whole time, waiting for the shoe to drop, and then it drops. Does that make sense? But for those, we're going to go with, so releasing a breath she didn't know she was holding feels like a breath of relief, because every single time I read that, it's because she was relieved about something. This is the opposite. This is the anticipation of a shoe to drop, and then the shoe drops. And that's neither here nor there. The first book, is The Fault in Our Stars. Now, now everyone knows the story, I fear, because I feel like everyone's seen the movie or they've read the book. Personally, prefer the book to the movie. A lot of people are the opposite, and that's okay. Your opinion can be wrong, that's okay. But the shoe that drops in this particular book, ow? Ow. Like, ow. But, you know. And the next one will also surprise not a single soul on earth. This is the biggest shoe drop, in my opinion, and that is Miss Daisy Hates. Ow. You literally hold your breath the whole time because it's like everything is tugging and pulling and everything, and like I can't say anything because it's gonna spoil the whole book, but it's just like the whole book is tugging and pulling at your heartstring and you're just holding your breath until the end of the book, and then the shoe drops and you're left with nothing. You are left a shell of the person you were, and that is okay. We can be shells together. The next one is also from Miss Louise, and it is When You Want a Cuppa, but you're so comfy and the book is too good. Now, I don't know what that means, what the cuppa part means. However, I interpreted this to mean books that were so good, that I refused to move. Like, I read them in almost one sitting. In fact, one of these I did read in one sitting. Because the book was that good. The book was that good. And neither of these will surprise you, because I'm anything if not on brand for myself. The first one will be Miss Legendborn by Miss Tracy Deonn. I did not read this in one sitting. I read this in 2 sittings because simply I could not stay up for 24 hours straight. Even if I tried, it was not going to work. But yes, I did not finish that in one sitting. But this next one, I did finish this in one sitting. Yes, I did, because the book was that good. The book was that stunning. The book was that amazing. And that is The Naturals by Miss Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you know me, you know that this is my favorite YA thriller series of all time. I don't know what she put in here. I don't know what crack. I don't know what drugs. I don't know what magic formula that she decided she was going to bestow upon us in this series. However, every single book but the last one I read in one sitting. And I think that that should speak for itself. I think it should speak for itself. The next one is from What Zara's Reading, and it's a book where you fall in love with a ghost, but it's sexy, not spooky. And one of these I wouldn't call sexy, but I would say it's more romantic than spooky. We'll do that. The first one, okay. I fear I cannot make this video without mentioning Phantasma. I fear I cannot mention this prompt without mentioning Phantasma because the male main character is a phantom and the female main character is not, and they do the things, and I fear this one was too perfect for this question. Now, do I feel it is the most perfect book on planet Earth? No. 3.75. I really enjoyed it, but I don't remember much of anything besides the fact that they had a lot of the not safe for work times during the stuff. So, do with that what you will, but I fear this is what you're looking for. And the next one is one I actually haven't read yet. This is what I mean when I say it's more romantic than sexy. It is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. The FMC is a ghostwriter. The male main character is a basically the male main character is her new editor, but the editor, he's a ghost. And I fear that there's a love story that comes from that. Obviously this is a romance novel, but if you're looking for more romantic vibes rather than like Shrek-y, The Dead Romantics by Miss Ashley Poston. If you're looking for sexy, Phantasma. I don't remember the author's name because I didn't read it. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. The next one is again from Miss Louise, and it is a book that makes the door creaking actually creepy and not like scary.
You sit on a throne of lies.
And I fear I can't answer this question without mentioning a James Patterson book. And so the book that I feel fits this best is Crazy House by James Patterson. This is the definition of creepy to me. Like, this book has the hairs on the back of my neck standing up just thinking about it. It's not scary, it's creepy. I'll just read you the back because I don't even know how to tell you what it's about. It's like the craziest story you will ever read. Becca Greenfield, 17, disappeared one morning on her way to school. Everyone from her town, including her twin sister, is desperately searching for Becca. They won't find her. Becca is being held prisoner in the crazy house. Becca is on death row, which is totally crazy because Becca is completely innocent. No one has ever gotten out of the crazy house alive, but there's always a first time. I can't even tell you what this more than that because then it's gonna spoil it. Now it does end on a cliffhanger and there is a second book. However, the second book could be 10 pages added to this book and it would have been fine. This book is great. This is the definition of creepy. The crazy house, it's James Patterson. I don't know who spit in your Cheerios for you to write this book. However, thanks. I thank them because I fear this is one of my favorite thrillers. The next book I feel So, pause. I just reread the prompt and it asked for scary. That book is also very scary, but it's more on the creepy side. Yeah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Back to regularly scheduled programming. So, the next book is actually the first of a series, but the series itself, like, you have to read the first two to get to the third book. The third book is scary. I don't know what crack got put in the third book, but that one was weird. It also pissed me off a little bit. Not my favorite book of the series, but anyways. I do think that A Good Girl's Guide to Murder can be scary. This was written so well. This was written so well to where I low-key locked my door at night after finishing this book. It wasn't scary. No, that's a lie.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I was fully scared. I don't get scared by YA thrillers, and this scared me. The second book, terrified. The third, this series is the definition of like a door creaking. You're terrified of it. because the mental games that happen throughout this book, this series, is crazy. Like, The Naturals was thriller, like, anticipation. This is crazy. It's not my favorite. Like, I think this was a 4-star. The second book was a 4.75, and then the third book was like a 4. A weak 4, but a 4. And so it's not my favorite series. It's like an overall 4-star series. It's not my favorite series, but she did something. Messed with my head for days after I finished this series. So I go with Scary. This next one's for my best friend, Salma. And the reason I emphasize the best friend part is because she knows this is my favorite. Okay. It is an angry love confession, but from the male main character's point of view specifically. I am a sucker for an angry love confession from anyone. But when a male human being, or non-human, depending if it's a fantasy or not, gives an angry love confession, take my credit card, take my money. I love it so much. I simply have no words. And I had to pick 2. Okay. There are multiple that fit here, but I narrowed it down to my top 2 because I picked 3, but the third one will be mentioned later. There we go. The first one is actually a MLM romance. It's a male love male romance, so there's only male point of views. However, the angry love confession. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Miss Casey McQuiston. This was phenomenal. This was fantastic. The book itself was phenomenal, fantastic, 5 stars. However, the angry love confession, the book itself was a weak 5-star. Like, I give it a 5-star because I still think about it to this day and it sat with me. Okay, 5 stars. But the angry love confession in this book is 6-star. 6-star material. It's the rest of the book that made it 5-star. And that's okay. That's still phenomenal. However, not 6-star. The angry love confession. The angry love confession is 6 stars. Argue with your mother's left shoe. The next one has been mentioned before because I love this man. He was actually mentioned in my last video because this was part of my October wrap-up because I've reread this book 3 times. And that would be Love on the Brain by Miss Sally Hazelwood. Levi Ward. The angry love confession. This confession is, can you not tell that I love you? This confession is, open your damn eyes. I love this man. And I will forever love this man. Thank you. The next one is from one of my dear friends as well. I love them and I hope they're doing well. They said, a queer fantasy with a touch of politics and as much hope as you can give me. Considering the election that just happened, I need hope as well. So I could not find... No, that's not true. There is a book that is perfect for this, but it's more queer representation, not queer main characters. And then there's queer main characters, but nothing about the political whatever gets explained. So I give both. I give range. I give fantastic reviews. Both of these are always talked about. I don't care if you're tired of it. If you're tired of it, argue with your mother's right shoe this time. First one is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El Motair and Max Gladstone. This is the one that, these are sapphic. This is sapphic. These are 2 women. These are 2 women-like beings. But the politics of the war...
What the hell is even that?
not gonna get explained. However, this made me believe in love again. This made me believe that love is possible through all scenarios. So this will give you hope as well as crush your soul a little bit, but that is none of your business. None of your business. The next book, I love talking about this book. This one has perfect amount of politics, romance, the angry love confession I mentioned earlier. This is the one where it's queer representation because
Not the male.
the female main character's parents are two gay dads. And that would be by The Orchid and the Owl by Miss Mariah Montoya. Every opportunity I get to talk about this book, I will talk about this book, okay? The fact that it's not annotated yet means I am behind schedule, and that is none of your business. Politics? Perfect to understand. The male main character's angry love confession. I need to stare at you so you can see how much I love this man. This is the perfect book. This is up there with This Is How You Lose the Time War. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm literally crying just thinking about it. I love this man. I love this book. And so, okay, back to the prompt, back to the recommendation thing, so I don't ramble on for another 5, 10, 80 years. The politics are light enough that it's not hard to follow along at all. It's really easy to understand this world and the magic system and how everything works. The queer representation is very much like, we know we're queer. There is no like coming out of the closet type beat. And it gives hope. It destroys it here, but it gives hope. The next one kind of warmed my heart when it came through, and it's for my friend Hope, and it says, books that remind you of yourself. And this was actually really hard because it's really hard relating myself to books that I love so much because it's hard for me to love myself sometimes. But these are the books where I felt like the female main characters really spoke to me and really made me feel seen. And the first one is January Andrews in Beach Read by Emily Henry. The pain that January feels in this, I felt so deeply in myself. I really felt heard, really felt seen when I read this book, and I am forever grateful for Emily Henry for giving us this masterpiece. I don't have enough words for how much this book means to me. Now, on a completely different note and on a completely different topic, we have Better Than the Movies by Miss Lynn Painter. Now, this one is not as serious. The other one is like my soul book. This is because I love rom-coms. And the main character, the female main character in this is the definition of rom-coms are my favorite movie. And bitch, if that's not me, I don't know what is. This book is too good. It's so good. It's a 4.5. It did everything it needed to do. It was delightful. I refuse to read the book that came out that's nothing like the movies, because I refuse to make this story anything more than what is right here in my hands. But that is just a me thing. I've heard great reviews about Nothing Like the Movies, so do with that what you will. But this is me as a person. That is me as a soul. The last one is also from Louise. Louise was such a real one with these props, and said the same feeling as freshly brewed coffee. And what I think of that is I think of cozy. I think of sitting in a chair with a cozy blanket with my book, and just not very many brain cells are used, or if they are used, I just feel at home in what I'm reading. And the first book I have for that is A Novel Love Story by Miss Ashley Poston. I really like this one. I know a lot of people who read The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip did not like this one. And I don't know, it was pretty average. Like, I think I rated this for 3.75, 4. It was a cozy romance. It was definitely a love letter to romance readers, a love letter to people who are hopeless romantics. I really enjoyed this book, and it was really good to read. It's very cozy, not a lot of brain cells. Thought it was great. I would recommend it if you're not looking for something that takes a lot of brain power to understand in romances. I will say, Ashley Poston's books deal with a great deal of grief, different kinds of grief, but grief. And so I would not read these when you are grieving. I would read them when you are past the grieving. So that way you don't get pulled into a place you don't need to be to enjoy these books. So, and the last one, will surprise not a soul, will surprise not a human, will surprise nobody. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayrer. Now, this is the definition of cozy fantasy. This is rom-com and fantasy mixed together. The second book is just, it's so funny. This book, funny. Second book, just as funny. Kingsley, where's that little frog? Kingsley? The man can do no wrong. This is the perfect cozy fantasy if you want something that's really fast, really silly, really goofy. Just perfect. It's cozy like a fresh cup of coffee, and it makes you feel all warm and tingly inside because it's so funny. And I think that's all you really need. This is your notion that a lot of things hurt my feelings, and I don't think that, and I think you should mind your business about that. Alright, that is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Every time I've said that in the last few videos where I say make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I think of David Dobrik's old vlogs where he was like, comment, and subscribe, tweet me at David Dobrik, and I'm just like, is that the message I'm sending? But also nobody can know what I'm talking about, and that's also okay. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, again, it is at Ollie Reads. I would love to have you over there. I post some silly stuff over there. I also post about the current political climate because I am sad. And that is how it is. I also have a Fable and a Goodreads. Both will be linked down in the description below. I will also link my Amazon wishlist. You do not have to gift to me. I just like being able to share the opportunity, and if you do, great. If not, that's none of my business. You do with your money what you see fit, and I will be happy for you. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!